trouble finding my texts, my contacts. Oh, yeah. So thank you. You made things a little easier for me again. Anyway, if you have numbers of anybody who goes to these classes, maybe give them a call and let them know that we're getting started here. My husband's going to start first with Chassidus, and I'll be in about an hour to do part 2 back to back with my husband. And so I hope you all enjoy the class. In my part of the class today, it should be something interesting because we're going to discuss how Mashiach is going to bring back laws and for the temple and everything. Should be interesting. Anyway, are you ready to take over, husband?
I'm actually waiting just to get someone on the...
No, don't wait. Yeah. I already have this open. I'm moving it over to you. I have to go get my other phone, and I wasn't able to text anybody, husband. I have to find out how to make this phone do that. Oh. Ready? It's on.
Yeah.
You're up and running.
Good day, everyone. For some of you, it's good morning. For some, it's already good afternoon. We hope that you had a wonderful Purim and a wonderful Shabbos Shushan Purim. Those months, Nisan also. This is a month that is completely permeated by the miracle of that the Almighty saved us all in one day, the 13th of Adar, and again in Shushan on the 14th of Adar. The Almighty saved the entire people from entire and complete annihilation, which is still the goal of the horrible Persians in Iran and Iraq, and the goal of Hamas, and the goal of the Houthis, and all the terrible enemies, including the terrible enemies that we have right here in the United States. Very discouraging. Even some of our own people are so completely misled and so confused as to be wanting to support the terrible enemy. So we're fighting. We're fighting this battle, you and I, right now, by studying the Torah. There's a tremendous amassing of the Israeli defense forces around Gaza, and it's kind of irritating that it's delayed. What has to be done is unquestionable, and the whole nation of Israel is in danger now as well, because Hamas is actually making new recruits. They're so desperate. That they're recruiting. I almost said little boys. It's almost the same. Young boys of 16 years of age. They're so desperate to get anybody with a gun, anything to try to, God forbid, remove the Jewish people. Almighty is saving us and helping us, and we do our part. The previous Rabbi and our Rabbi both pointed out that the spiritual war, which is behind the physical, nothing happens in the physical world. This is a Chassidus class where we study the secrets of the Torah and the soul of the Torah and the behind the scenes that's going on all the time. We think that this world is the stage, right? Shakespeare said all the world's a stage. This, in a sense, is true because we're only seeing what God puts on for us to see. And the real world is really the spiritual world, including this war. It's a war, as many, even those who are not terribly religious, say it's a war of not against the Arabs and the Jews. It's a war against good and evil, because the philosophy and the whole program of these horrible terrorists, there's so many different groups besides the ones that always get mentioned. There's so many of these groups. And in America, right here in the United States of America, they send and pay people to rouse up people against the Jewish people, against Israel. Be fully aware of what's going on. Be fully aware of our fight. And therefore, when we study the Holy Torah, this is our spiritual ammunition. And it's working, believe me. It's working. Those miracles in which God saw to it, thousands of missiles that were shot at Israel could have been that much more devastating. Of course, we lost precious Jewish souls too. Yes, we did, of course, and we lost hostages, and we still know that they're being brutally mistreated and suffering and barely staying alive. These things are going on. As severe as that is, and God, please help us now, please help us immediately, as severe as that is, one should stop and think of what a miracle that Israel's still there, that the Jewish people are still there altogether. Thousands of these horrible missiles, most of which, in fact, landed in non-popular populated areas, and many blew up in the faces of the horrible, wicked people who shot them as well. And now the Houthis are making trouble again because we're defending ourselves again. So we see greater and greater tension, which really means greater and greater being close to the Almighty, greater and greater closer to the coming of the Mashiach. This great miracle of the coming of the Mashiach and the redemption, it's nothing to be amazed about because our prophets and the Talmud, the rabbis of the Talmud, they were saintly people, but they were a little close to human like you and me because they were human beings too. So our prophets, that they predicted all of this horror, including the crazy chaos in the world, even the mix up with the transgender. Can you imagine even that? Even that whole thing is all predicted so many centuries ago in the Talmud, where people say that could never happen. Of course not. And that's all happening and has been happening now. And the Almighty has sent us a wonderful president whom I could see working hand in hand with our great Mashiach, because this is the man who is fighting evil every way he possibly can and not sweeping it under the rug as previous presidents have also for many, many centuries. And he's a person, he's a businessman, and he works with a business mind. That's what God gave him. But he also has a moral mind and a moral heart, which businessmen often don't have. So you and I, as we are studying the Holy Torah, we are shooting at these horrible terrorists. And we have a good aim. And look what's happening. It's not an accident that most of Hamas's Italians were destroyed. It's not an accident. It's not